High tech, best tech? There are people who will say so, there are people who will fully disagree. I'm not here to tell you which tech is the best. I like ships from all tech lines. Low tech, I like the Enforcer, the Dominator, the Mora and the Legion. From midline, I like the Griffon, the Heron, the Monitor, and there are ships from high tech that I like, so I'm not one of those people who only like one tech line in Starsector. I'm the Steel Merchant, and today I will go through descriptions of all high tech ships. I have some I like more than others, but to me there's really no best tech, so at least with this I'm objective. Take a listen so you won't ever have to read descriptions of those ships again, and enjoy me struggling as I read those excellent descriptions. Let's start with the frigates and then end with the capitals. Afflector, a dangerous and swift phase frigate. The Afflector design features the efficient Mark III phase cloak actuator. Its weapons loadout is powerful enough to bring down much heavier ships if they are caught off guard. Hyperion, a bleeding edge advanced gunship built around a unique phase teleportation system. The flinky integrated prototype power grid is tricky and expensive to maintain, but delivers excellent flux and shield performance. The Hyperion was built to punch up, using tactical positioning to pick its fights, then engage with a relatively heavy weapon loadout for its class, mounted at the expense of point defense capability. Considered a hangar queen, the Hyperion is scorned by quartermasters, yet prized by Tri-Tachyon fleet directors who admire the purity of the ambition which can be felt through its design and application. Absolutely goated ship, my favorite frigate. Indeed, the GOAT, the absolute GOAT. Mercury, one of the smallest ships in the sector, equipped with an onboard hyperdrive actuator. This class is typically used for safety transporting VIPs or couriers between small star systems, cheapest to buy of all starfaring ships. Although small, the shuttle class is outfitted for the comfort and security of its potential VIP passengers. It is rare to see one in combat. If a captain is unlucky enough to be in such a spot, one can quickly see why. Most power systems on board are reserved for use by the life support, comfort, and entertainment modules installed to make sure that passengers do not get bored on long voyages. Nobody ever uses this. I have never used it myself and don't see a point in using it. Omen. The Omen is rarely deployed due to the cost associated with maintaining such a technologically advanced ship. Its excellent shields and the EMP emitter it carries make it a perfect escort for larger ships. A ship with strong shields, indeed a perfect escort, but also perfect for wolfpack tactics. For you, this was but a second. For me, this was a whole day, as my neighbor decided to bang a wall with a hammer for 5 fucking hours. Anyway, let's continue. Scarab. The Scarab is a rare experimental HU developed by Tri-Tachyon Corporation. Only a limited run of prototypes has been produced. Gross casualty violating technology was banned by the domain, and this ban is now upheld by hegemony doctrine, with ludic support. Nonetheless, it is the handful of fringe examples of this technology which form the foundation for interstellar human civilization from the old gate system, depending on one's theory of its operation, to common FTL hyperspace travel and communication. Tri-Tachyon has always pushed the bleeding edge of those technologies and of the law by spearheading development of phase technology. The Scarab's uniquely full integrated prototype temporal shell system is no exception. So it is not so much that the Scarab manipulates time as it avoids the normal rate of consequence of the local frame reference. The effect, as upsetting to the ludic theologians as it is to laymen, is to seemingly slow time from the outside world. Of course, one must avoid stating it thus in earshot of the applied temporal physicists who deal in such miracles to avoid hideous correction of terminology. Never used this ship myself, however, seeing it in action and hearing from players about it, I cannot say a bad word about it. Maybe it isn't for my playstyle, but I'm also more of a lore guy than a gameplay guy, so I admit I just suck. With the knowledge we have of the Dwellers existing, we understand why Domain banned casualty violating technology. Shade, the smallest phase ship that is currently produced in the sector. The Shade class is often used as a scout for larger fleets. In battle, it is valued by fleet admirals for its ability to disable enemy ships with its EMP emitter. I won't say anything about it. I've seen more people use the Afflictors than Shades, so they are better, I don't know. Well, I just don't know. Phase ships aren't my kind of ships, you know, I just suck at them. Tempest, an asymmetric advanced design from the late expansion epoch, the Tempest class is the quintessential attack frigate, fast, deadly and difficult to destroy. Absolutely goated, perfect for wolf pack tactics, but also for an escort or even just letting it go by its own. A drone tender, a few can work as a carrier, you know, if you get a few of them, that's a carrier for you. Wolf, a technologically advanced frigate with an efficient shield generator and an impressive weapons package that allows it to punch far above its weight. These same characteristics mean its frigate-grade power core struggles to keep up, making careful flux management a priority. A Wolf, good for wolf pack tactics, a useful ship for slow fleets, can close gaps or create them in enemy fleets. Now, onto the destroyers. Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. The go-to choice for medium cargo holding in the sector, the Buffalo class freighter amplifies the load and prey principle prevalent in the sector shipping. Sporting just a single small weapon emplacement, the hull of the ship is no more than a large engine with a tiny crew quarters section and cargo grapplers. A captain taking the ship out without a convoy rarely gets to make the same mistake twice. Incapable of anything resembling a combat maneuver, the lateral thrusters on Buffalo class ships are designed to merely enable it to dock when and if it reaches its destination. The ship engines are the greatest contributor to hull cost, which, while low, is still within the norms for a medium freighter. The greatest contributing factor to its ambiguity is the fact that the blueprint for this ship is usually hard-coded into every orbital shipyard's blueprint database. A useful cargo holder, but I like the Colossus way more. This is fine though. Harbinger, no, not this one. A deadly phase destroyer feared and scorned by the crews who have suffered the misfortune of facing it in battle. The Harbinger possesses a device which allows it to briefly disable enemy ships, creating openings that it or its allies can exploit. The Tri-Titan Corporation denies allegation of ongoing involvement in phasing experiments, much less the, and I quote, clandestine development and operation of phase warships, which would of course be in direct violation of the Treaty of Thule. I can read this with a straight face, just Tri-Titan lying so much. It is company policy to pursue full persecution of individuals, mercantile bodies, spiritual plates and any registers qualities, committing gross and flagrant deformation of the full extent of local jurisdictional power as per the Sector Commercial Accords of Cycle 32 AC. Our legal team will be in touch. I just can't, I love this. I've seen people use this ship for crazy things I will never pull off. You know, low-tech players and phase ship players are really a different breed. Let's continue. Medusa, a fearsome ship whose top-tier engines provide great speed and maneuverability. For a destroyer, multiple energy weapon slots allow for a plethora of tactical possibilities. Its best-in-class performance is matched by a demanding logistical profile that has led some fleet commanders to eschew its use in favor of other ships that can be deployed more frequently and cheaply. The Medusa is one of the most respected destroyers in the sector due to its association with Black Ops and elite pirates. The few that have been aboard a Medusa can attest to its extreme level of technological sophistication. Medusa class blueprints are few in number and are some of the rarest and closely guarded data in the sector. Deemed too expensive to mass produce by corporations and governments, it is rarely employed by the lawful authorities as a black ops cruiser. One, on the rarest occasion, a Medusa class crew may fall into the hands of pirates. The usual results are drastic reduction in system small to medium shipping, which puts a strain on most planetary and outpost economies. Sector naval tacticians have few answers to the threat that the Medusa presents. I like this one. A useful ship. If I don't want to field enforcers, I deploy a Medusa. Their opposite. Fast with strong shields but with a weak armor and hull. Phantom. An advanced troop transport employing phase stealth technology. This design was put to effective use by Tri-Titan Black Ops during the Second AI War. The Phantom should avoid ship-to-ship combat, as integrated armor and weaponry are only rated effective versus light ground targets. The system patrols should have seen the Tahis coming, but didn't. ADA was tracking the Apogee right up until it disappeared off the scope, leaving the ground guns spinning in circles trying to reacquire a target. We saw a shadow in the air, like dark wings falling on the compound. Don't remember much else. Sudrex says incoming fire already took the rest of the squad. The fall of Bunker 58. I honestly forgot about this ship's existence, so it exists here. Never used it. The Shrike. No, not this one. This one. An advanced fast attack light destroyer from the same design team as the near ubiquitous Wolf. The Shrike advanced propulsion system is designed to selectively vent plasma in a microburn maneuver. This allows the Shrike to dart into tactical opportunities as they arise, strike and escape before a proper counterattack is mounted. Shield's armor and sustained flux capacity are somewhat underwhelming due to the need to build a light yet economical hull which prioritizes attack speed, leading to the Shrike gaining the reputation as a glass cannon best entrusted to skilled captains. Certain unique structural elements in the plasma venting systems are known to, which were corroded in oxygen-rich atmosphere, so care must be taken to reapply thermopolymer coating at each hull servicing. Useful ship, I often use it alongside Medusas or Enforcers, even alone sometimes. Strongly recommended. Now, onto the bigger ships more people care about, the cruisers. Aurora class. The Aurora class cruiser is a technological marvel, rarely seen, among the fastest and most maneuverable cruisers in the sector. It is also one of the safest due to its wide shield coverage. One can only wonder what the Domain Navy could accomplish with a fleet of those sleek, asymmetric and eminently effective vessels. The shields are backed up by a hyper-advanced flux dissipation system installed throughout the hull, which gives the Aurora a very deep flux pool. Most blueprints required to manufacture Aurora-class ships are closely guarded corporate secrets, but a few have also seen service in Tri-Titan fleets and rarely in the hands of enterprising mercenary captains. Few ships can outperform the Aurora ton for ton. Its only weakness is prohibitive cost. This ship is strong, mobile, and suicidal in the hands of my officers. It's a good ship, but every time I give it to one of my officers, they just jump into the main line of enemies and die. So AI may be not great at using it, however, it is good in the player's hands. Doom, designed when phase technology was unknown and phase detectors were not a standard of every sensor package. This cruiser has lost the advantage of surprise, but it retains a dangerous and flexible weapons loadout. Certain unnerving psychological phenomena have been reported by sensitive crew members after enduring many rapid phase shifts in combat conditions. Domain Navy reports on the subject were never declassified and are thought to have been lost since the collapse. A strong ship, only phase ship I ever used, still I'm terrible at it. As with all phase ships, some strange phenomena are said to be happening while entering the P-space. We know something evil hides in the N-space. What hides in the P-space? Goated ship Killer Queen. The Fury. A fast attack high-tech light cruiser. The Fury is designed to choose when and where it strikes so as to inflict maximum effect upon the enemy. The specialized inbuilt plasma micro-burn system allows the Fury to take small dashes at high speed to catch unaware opponents off guard. The Fury class is the Shrike class's big sibling, a product of the same design team asked to fulfill slightly updated requirements, including resolution of the long-standing hull corrosion issue. Without it was hope, introducing any new problems. This was largely successful once the chaos of several indignant resignation was sorted out. Dismissed by heavy armor ballistics firepower traditionalists as just another small-bore glass cannon, the Fury was nevertheless proved quite dangerous in the hands of quick-thinking fleet commanders. A strong ship like the Aurora, balanced with great mobility and firepower. I find it better than Aurora, but only because when I give it to my officers, they aren't running to their deaths. Revenant, a stealth freighter which audaciously employs phase technology to support other fleet operations. The Revenant is not cheap or efficient. Raised up from a dusty set of databanks hidden in an unnamed rock orbiting a nondescript star for 100 cycles after the first AI war, the Revenant schematics prove an immense boon to the logistics of Tritaian raiders during the second AI war. Hegemony lawyers considered declaring the design illegal, but evidence of alpha-level AI influence was deemed insufficient. The lead prosecutor insisted so strongly that this was itself evidence of the work of an alpha that the High Hegemon found it politic to rescue them from the proceedings. Won't say anything about it, never used it. The Apogee. The Apogee class vessels are an efficient mix of advanced scientific and military technologies, perfect for long-range exploration of hostile space. The class features an isometric design with a large forward section, usually outfitted with long-range tech scanners. Apogee captains are used to operating alone and tend to be an independent, self-reliant lot. The ship can hold its own in one-on-one engagements by smart use of its powerful shoot emitter and strong engines. However, its armor rating makes it seem somewhat fragile on paper and thus is rarely part of big fleet actions. The high construction costs typically mean that only affluent tech mining consortiums can afford an Apogee class vessel that is fully outfitted for an aggressive exploratory role. If you want to explore, this is your ship. Perfect exploration ship that can hold its own in a fight. Most players' first flagship. Even low-tech players give this ship respect it deserves. Anubis, a rare experimental prototype development by Tritaian Corporation. Yeah, that's it. We know nothing more except it's a prototype made by Tritaian. Absolutely goated ship, perfect escort, made because people didn't use the Paladin. It's absolutely goated ship, I love it. Fred hates it. If ships could talk, the low-tech ships would say that, oh yeah, if the MK1 was back, he would absolutely love the low-tech because we regained its legacy, we kept it. And the midline ships would say something like, no, he would actually love midline ships. We are the future of the domain. And the MK1 will actually just come and say, I am quite fond of the Anubis. Let's destroy the thread a little bit. Yeah, that's what I feel. But now, on to the capitals. I will not speak about the ziggurat here, as I didn't speak about the MK1 when it came to the low-tech. Let's begin with the Astral. A technologically advanced capital ship designed primarily as a carrier, the Astral class is able to project vast amounts of firepower through its numerous fighter craft squadrons. The Astral class ships are thought to have been epitome of carrier design in the domain during the years prior to the collapse. Nearly all systems that can be automated are, with each handled by sophisticated but not too sophisticated sub-AI cores installed throughout the ship. Defensive weapon systems are typically, but not always, point defense turrets and long-range missiles. The true power of an Astral lies in its fighter craft, which gives the carrier unprecedented flexibility in the battle space. Nearly any enemy ship type that appears on the captain's scopes can quickly be dispatched, given just a launch order of a wing of nimble interceptors, strike bombers, or fighters. Automated facilities ensure that a squadron coming back from a mission can quickly be repaired and rearmed behind the safety of a powerful X-35 shield emitter. The Astral class is a very vulnerable should the X-35 come down. This is why, when not protected by its fighter wings, it never travels alone, but instead is at the head of spaceborne carrier fleets. Those task forces are a rarity, as the power they hold is usually required to subjugate entire planets or blockade enormous areas of space. The Astral is perhaps the most technologically advanced capital ship that can be seen in the sector today. That's why he's the MVP! Few serve with the hegemony due to the high technological requirements that it imposes on orbital dock. Senior naval corporate officers of the Tri-Titan Corporation or extremely wealthy private admirals sometimes make an Astral their flagship. The GOAT, my favorite carrier, biggest carrier in the game, and simply the best carrier. Nerfed a lot because of how good it was, still, it remains an absolute beast, a marvel of technology, my go-to carrier if I don't want to use Moras or Herons. Odisa, the isometric, spheroid design belies the power of this battlecruiser. The base hull presents a loadout which favors heavy energy weapons and mobility focus. A 2-wing hangar capacity complements tactical options. The Odisa was considered a boondoggle of a design by the Domain Naval Procurement Committee, with numerous objections raised. No single tactical focus, the officers' boardrooms are too large, the energy grid uses only premium components, and the fittings are too expensive. Despite several rounds of eye-watering budget overruns and rumblings of a bribery scandal, the production contract was only denied before final prototype trials. Never keen to pass up a profitable opportunity, Altair Exotech licensed the Odisa class to several frontier development corporations, including Erdani Utopia, to provide admirably armed mobile survey headquarters and operation platforms. It is for this role in the megacorporate exploitation of the frontiers that the otherwise rare Odisa class found its way to the personal sector. There are 3 types of players if it comes to this ship: those who love it and think it is the best in the game, those who think it's the worst and hate it with passion, and those who never used it, because it is so rare to get. I think it is the rarest ship to find in the game. I'm the 3rd type of player, so I won't say anything more. Paragon, the pinnacle of Domain's battleship design, though perhaps less the result of military necessity and more of the ambitions of a certain senior staff of the Domain Navy with considerable backing from the Tri-Titan Corporation, among other major contractors. No ship can outlast or outgun the Paragon class, a true leviathan of a bygone epoch. Big defense and firepower. An Alhor ship, not only because it's a fortress ship, but because it's also slow as fuck. Its lack of speed and mobility is its own con, the only con. But if it had speed and mobility, it would have become a modded ship, and we know how those are. Those are all high-tech ships so far. If I missed any, let me know. Let me know your favorite ship and how you use them. Now, if you like, please like this video. If you dislike, you dislike. Subscribe if you feel like it. And goodbye and have a great time. But remember, low tech, midline, high tech, it doesn't matter. The best shape and the best tech is the one you think is the best. Now, goodbye.